Have you misjudged this ship? Here's 5 things the Nomad does better than you think. Not flash, not hype, just things that work. So how come nobody mentions them? Hey friend, name's Dusty Star. I've flown a lot of ships, but this one splits folks right down the middle. Some say it's the perfect solo rig, others just a space pickup with floaty feet. So what's the truth? I bought one, tore it down to the bolts, rebuilt what mattered, and ran it hard. No showroom shots, just real cargo, real fights, and time off the grid. We're gonna find out what breaks, what holds, and whether you'd trust it when no one's coming. So buckle in. This one's for every pilot who ever called the Nomad home. I've made these for you, the community I love. A full set of collectible PDFs, the upgrade guide, the black and white schematics for your shop binder, and the tactical recovery sheet for salvage ops. All free, links below. Back in 2950, Consolidated Outland gave us something most folks didn't know they needed. The Nomad's got this rugged simplicity I keep coming back to. Open bed hauler, clean lines, and a layout that feels it was built by someone who's done the work. The cargo deck lowers with a button press. Bed drops to the ground, ramp folds out, ready for wheels or crates. When you're done, lift it back up and you're travel ready. Main entry is a drop-down ladder at the side door. No elevators, no stairs, just enough. And one of the details I've come to appreciate, the ladder pulls back in automatically when you step out. Door seals behind you. Items in the bed aren't secure, sure, but no one's climbing in your cabin and no one's taking your pilot seat while you're out on foot. That's not just convenience, that's control. And when you're running cargo solo, control's what keeps your ship in your hands. It's a small thing till you need it. 2 gun racks, one on each side of the door. I keep a rifle on the left and a tractor tool on the right. No gear menus, no inventory drag and drop, just grab what you need and get moving. That's why it's number 1 on my list. Weapon racks right where they ought to be. Out in the black, grabbing gear ain't enough. Because if your power fails or your shields don't hold, you better hope that what's under the hood is built to last. We're leaving the coolers right where they are. The Nomad ships with a pair of industrial grade A Ultraflows, highest cooling in its class, stronger casing, no reason to change what's already built to last. Maximum cooling, durable housing, no need to upgrade. We're pulling out the stock web shield and dropping in a palisade. This isn't about fancy regen curves or some stealth gimmick. This is about surviving when help ain't coming. The palisade gives us the biggest shield pool in its class, better regen, and almost double the durability of the stock unit. That means more time to react, more time to fight, and just plain more time to get out. Out here, far from stations, far from backup, you don't want a shield that's good on paper. You want one that takes a beating and stays lit. Bigger pool, faster regen, built to hold when all goes wrong. The stock Ion Burst gives you 14 power and 450 hit points. It'll get the job done near a station, but if you're living out of your ship, days from help, you need components you can trust. The Breton gives you a full 16 power output and adds 160 hit points of durability. It's built for harsh environments and long hauls. That's why we're going with Breton. More power, more reliable, and it's built to last when no one's coming to save you. The stock Expedition drive gets you far, but it's the weakest of the bunch. I upgraded to the Atlas. It's tougher, faster on cooldown, and gives me over 92 million kilometers of range. That's enough to cross the system and still have room for a detour. That's why we're going with Atlas. Faster cooldown, stronger core, long enough legs to live off-grid. Time for the turret. We're swapping in 2 Attrition 3 laser repeaters, and though they're in the turret, they're slave to the pilot seat. 2 guns, 1 trigger pull. You melt their shields before they know they've been spotted. That's why we're going with Attrition 3. More heat, more pressure, more control. For the nose, we're running a Deadbolt 3. It's not fast, it's not subtle, but when their shields drop, you aim at center mass and let it speak. That's why we're going Deadbolt. No warning, no mercy, no second shot. This wasn't about payout, this was about process. Could the Nomad run a full contract loop with minimal running around? Cockpit controls where it counts, and nothing slowing me down but the job itself. 2 pickup locations, 4 SCU headed from Microtech up to Port Tressler. Not glamorous, not dangerous, just clean physical work. But no ship solves every problem. We touch down at Goldenrod Work Center ready for pickup, and here's one snag. To get the cargo up to the loading pad, you still have to walk over and hit the kiosk. That's it, 1 step. Everything after that, pilot seat only. Soon as the freight lift brought the crates topside, I hustled back to the ship and got in the seat. Used a Nomad's remote tractor to pull him in and lock the load down on the bed. At Port Tressler, I spun the tail around towards the freight elevator. Didn't leave the cockpit. Didn't have to. Switched to turret mode and used the rear tractor. Never left the controls. No walking back and forth, no handheld tractor. I've flown a lot of haulers. Very few let you do the heavy lifting without getting up. Only catch, you still have to walk to the kiosk to kick it off. So no, it's not hands-on from start to finish, but it's damn close. Once it's time to go, the rear-mounted beam does the rest, direct from the cockpit. No EVA, no footwork, no buddy system. That's why number 2 on my list is the Nomad's remote tractor beam, because tools that keep you independent keep you moving. It hauled clean with no drama, but a smooth job don't prove much. What happens when you're outnumbered and no one's coming to help? I didn't empty the bed for this run. Left the gear, the couch, the cargo, all of it. If you're gonna live out of a Nomad, you can't just unbolt your life every time there's trouble. Cause if a ship like this is gonna earn its keep, it can't just fight clean, it's gotta fight loaded. So I picked up Scenario 4 from Gilly's flight school. Stealth targets, radar tricks, real test of your nerves and sensors. Then Gilly calls it in.
Hostile spotted. Give him what you got.
And the first red ping on my radar, an Argo mole. Not what you want to see when you're flying light with your pantry and your porch furniture strapped in the back. So yeah, time to see if this little off-grid rig can throw a punch. Missile lock. Didn't have time to think. Countermeasures out, but the missile was already mid-flight. Hit me dead on, but those Palisade Industrials we slotted in held strong. Took the blast without flinching. That's not luck. That's making the right upgrades before the trouble shows up. I locked one of our Strike Force 2s. Fired. Direct hit. The mole's body lit red on the radar, so I armed a second. But before I could get it off the rail, radar flared. 3 new contacts. Gunfire already hitting the hull. Quick pan across the scope. Missed razors. Fast, thin, built for speed and trouble. Wasn't about the mole anymore. This just turned into a numbers game. So I broke off, lined up the Razor, small profile, badgers stitched across my shields, and I'm in a Nomad, loaded down, trying to keep crosshairs on a ship half my size and twice my speed. Hope those Palisades had one more hit in them. I laid into him, kept pressure on, rounds hitting, shields sparking. Then I saw it. He slowed. I swerved to avoid the pass, but clipped him hard with my own hull. The Razor went up like dry brush. Just a flash, a pop, and then the ship AI calmly called out.
Target has been destroyed.
Wasn't clean, wasn't planned, but it worked. That's when I knew this ship could brawl, even when things get up close and ugly. Locked onto the scattergun Razor, we trade fire, close and mean. I'm taking hits, shields flickering, but they hold. Start to feel that second one light me up from the flank. Laser cannons burning steady, but I don't break focus. Kept the nose on my target. Attrition chews are heating up, hammering him, shot after shot. He tried to bank out. Too late. Hull cracked, systems dumped, and boom.
Target has been destroyed.
That's 2 down, and the Nomad is still holding. With the Razors gone, I swung back to the mole, tried to close distance, but its turret gunners weren't asleep. Shields flashed, steady hits, still holding, but I knew I couldn't tank it forever. So I shifted tactics, lined up on the rear quadrant, let the attrition 2s chew down the shield. And once I saw those shields flicker out, I flipped to the Deadbolt 3. Every shot placed, focused fire on the unarmored rear, punching through while their turrets spun blind. Kept pounding that rear hull with the Deadbolt, every shot digging deeper, until the last round left the barrel. The computer called like a flatline, but the mole was barely hanging together, so I swapped back to the attritions.
There we go. Another lesson.
After the fight, I pulled back and spun the camera around just to see what kind of shape I was in, but not a scratch on the hull. Cargo bed still full. Couch didn't even shift. And that's when it hit me. The Palisades didn't just hold, they ate a missile, laser cannon fire, scattergun run, and a collision that vaporized a Razor. This little Nomad tanked a fight it was never meant to survive. In the middle of it all, my only real fear, losing that chair in the back. I love that chair. And I love knowing I don't need a second pair of hands just to shoot back. 3 guns, 1 trigger at a time. That's why number 3 on my list is the Nomad's pilot-controlled weapon layout, because solo doesn't mean undergunned. I've flown it, I fought in it, and I hauled half the system along the way. But could I really call it home? You've seen what it can do. Carries its weight, loads with ease, unloads straight from the pilot seat. And when it came time to fight, it held the line. Shield soaked a missile, outmaneuvered Razors, and flew home loaded like nothing happened. Doesn't have the most cargo, doesn't move the fastest, but the Nomad puts every inch of its design to work. Everything's simple. And that bed out back, it ain't just for boxes. You pack it right, it becomes your home. Food, tools, a camp chair, whatever you need. This ain't just a cargo bay. It's a flatbed you can live out of. Crates, tools, even a couch under the stars. That's why number 4 on my list is the Nomad's open cargo bed. Because when your ship's your home, every square inch counts. No station, no city, no schedules. You land where you want, sleep under the stars. This is for the pilot who doesn't want to dock, the one who picks clean over clutter, work over noise. And when you sleep inside, it's all there. A rack for your tools, a bathroom, a kitchen, a bed, all packed into a space that feels like it respects your time. When you're out this far, comfort matters more than folks admit. This interior isn't just clean, it's calm. You want to wake up in here. and you don't mind falling asleep here either. That's why number 5 on my list is the Nomad's livable interior, because if you're gonna stay gone, your ship better feel like home. I gotta thank the crew keeping this whole shop running. Wraith and Trash Bandicoot, our first Foundry partners. You ain't just supporting the work, you're building the damn infrastructure. Every ship we tear down comes with a full set of downloads, factory service manuals, schematics, tactical recovery sheets, all free. You'll find them below. And if you're the kind that'd rather be in the shop than in the showroom, we'd be glad to have you in the org. Discord's open, links below. Take care of yourself out there. Around here, we slow down, look close, and stick with the ship long enough to see what it's really made of, and hold onto the ones that earn our trust. This Nomad did. I've got more factory service manuals on the way, so if this kind of work speaks to you, make sure you're subscribed, and tell me in the comments what ship should we tear down next. I'm Dusty Star, and my hangar's always open to you.